Welcome to Aviator View Sound. Today we'll show you how to track vocals through plugins and Reaper. Setting up your audio interface. It's important when setting your audio interface to use an ASIO-based audio driver in your DAW. Set up your first input and a second input if you're recording two-person at the same time. Also make sure to set up your output. Recording with a high sample rate leaves enough room for your DAW filter to work more efficiently at reducing noise from your preamp. Also, a small block size assure you to have the least latency possible. Leave it at 64 if your computer has enough processing power, but 128 is good start toward a low latency recording. Track input effects chain. Like all analog-based recording session, using analog-based gear is often essential when coloration and ease of use is necessary when tracking vocals. A preamp is the first desired effect in an analog-based tracking session. An EQ is often to fix problem while in recording stage, but small changes are desirable. Compression often comes after. Make sure to filter out the lows to reduce low-end rumble in the 50 Hz region, creating hums. Making small changes to the EQ, make sure to not alter too much the timbre of the recording as to retain a natural sound as possible, reminiscent of the original tape. Making sure that your preamp gain is in line with your audio interface preamp gain, assure you to have a real analog-based workflow as possible. Also, oversampling help reduce aliasing distortion introduced by the analog-based plugin, since some preamp emulation might color more than others. An opto-based compressor like a CL1B or an LA2A has some of the best or most natural compression characteristic out there and will make sure to stay unnoticed on your recording when compression is needed. Using a slow attack and release when compressing will assure you to have the most smooth compression possible. Often ignored is an ADC-based filter emulation used to emulate how analog to digital converter behave in the recording, making sure to filter out any noise and aliasing in the supersonic frequency. Reverb synth. First is to load a reverb effect plugin by going to the FX chain. Reverb, which is sometimes an arbitrary choice, can be used to give the listener a better feel of his voice or to engage confidence. Delay and pre-delay can also be used to add more depth and dimension to the recording, while EQ is used to shape the end in any form desired to remove mud in the low frequency range and filter out harshness in the top end. Reverb time should be aligned with the BPM of the song, while the mix should be adjusted to fit the vocal with the song. One important thing to take in consideration is CPU consumption and latency. Zero latency mode is important for low latency recording, also reducing other processing to preserve CPU and can greatly improve the performance of your recording, especially limiting your sample rate as you will not be printing the reverb to your track. Final stage is the routing of the main vocal to the reverb synth, which makes sure to fully set up the reverb. Sometimes when listening, only the web vocal is needed. Then removing the vocal track from the master synth will make sure that the artists listen to the wet vocal as opposed to the dry vocal sitting on top of the wet vocal. Okay guys, let's wrap it up and stay tuned for the next tutorial next week. And don't forget to share, subscribe and comment for more video.